Hello everyone, welcome to GMains 2012 Physics Solutions. A wooden wheel of radius r is made of two semicircular parts. The two parts are held together by a ring made of metal strip of cross-sectional area S and length L. L is slightly less than 2 pi r. To fit the ring on the wheel, it is heated so that its temperature rises by delta T and it just steps over the wheel. As it cools down to surrounding temperature, it presses the semicircular parts together. If the coefficient of linear expansion of metal is alpha and Young's modulus is y, the force that one part of the wheel applies on the other part is fractional change in length delta L by L equal to alpha delta T. Young's modulus of the material y equal to Fl by S into delta L. Thermal stress F by S equal to Y times delta L by L, that is Y alpha delta T, from which we get force equal to Sy alpha delta T. So the force exerted by one part on the other part is 2 times F, that is 2Sy alpha delta T. The figure shows an experimental plot for discharging capacitor in RC circuit. The time constant tau of this circuit lies between. Time constant of a discharging RC network is defined as the time taken by the circuit to reach to 75% of the initial value, that is charge or potential. So Q equal to Q naught e power minus T by RC. Dividing throughout with capacitance, we get Vc equal to V times e power minus T by RC. 37% of the initial potential, that is 25 volts, is 9.25 volt. From the graph, this voltage is in the time range of 100 seconds to 150 seconds. So the correct option is 4. In a uniformly charged sphere of total charge Q and radius r, the electric field E plotted as a function of distance from the center. The graph which would correspond to the above will be: the electric field intensity inside the sphere is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r cube into small r. So that is directly proportional to distance. The electric field intensity outside the sphere is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square, that is inversely proportional to square of distance. So the first part of the graph is a straight line passing through origin, and the second part of the graph is inverse square relation. So the correct option is C. An electromagnetic wave in vacuum has the electric and magnetic fields E bar and B bar, which are always perpendicular to each other. The direction of polarization is given by X bar and that of wave propagation by K bar. Then an electromagnetic wave travels along E bar cross B bar. So K bar is parallel to E bar cross B bar. Direction of polarization X bar is parallel to B bar, that is perpendicular to the direction of electric field. So it will be parallel to the direction of magnetic field. If a simple pendulum has significant amplitude up to a factor of 1 by e of original only in the period between t equal to 0 seconds to t equal to tau seconds, then tau may be called as the average life of the pendulum. When the spherical bob of the pendulum suffers a retardation due to viscous drag proportional to its velocity, with b as a constant of proportionality, the average lifetime of the pendulum is, assuming damping is small, in seconds. Retardation suffered by the bob is proportional to speed. So A is proportional to minus V. So A equal to minus BV. Retarding force F equal to MA, that is minus MBV. Net restoring torque tau equal to I alpha, that is minus MGL sin theta minus MBV into L. Applying tau equal to I alpha, we have ml square alpha equal to minus ml times g sin theta plus bv, that is d square theta by dt square, which is the value of alpha, equal to minus g by l times theta plus bv by l. The angular displacement of the bob, that is the solution of above differential equation, comes out to be theta equal to theta naught of e power minus bt by 2 sin omega t plus phi, the angular amplitude theta dash equal to theta naught of e power minus bt by 2. Given theta dash is theta naught by e, so theta naught by e equal to theta naught e power minus b tau by 2, which gives b tau by 2 equal to 1, that is tau equal to 2 by b. Hydrogen atom is excited from ground state to another state with principal quantum number equal to 4. The number of spectral lines in the emission spectrum will be: excited state of the hydrogen atom n equal to 4. Different possibilities of electron transition are shown in figure. We get the total number of spectral lines possible to be 6. A coil is suspended in a uniform magnetic field with the plane of the coil parallel to the magnetic lines of force. When a current is passed through the coil, it starts oscillating. It is very difficult to stop, but if an aluminum plate is placed near the coil, it stops. This is due to: when current is passed through the coil, it starts oscillating. The oscillating coil produces time-varying magnetic field. The time-varying magnetic field induces eddy currents in the aluminum plate. The eddy currents cause eddy current damping, slowing down the oscillating coil, ultimately stopping it. So, the correct option is D. The mass of a spaceship is 1000 kg. It is to be launched from the Earth's surface out into the free space. The value of G and R are 10 meter per second square and 6400 km respectively. The required energy for this work will be: when the spaceship goes into free space, the potential energy of interaction as well as kinetic energy becomes 0. Conservation of mechanical energy, E initial equal to E final, that is minus G mm by R plus K initial equal to 0, which gives us K initial equal to Gmm by R, which is nothing but m into small g into capital R. Upon substituting the numerical values, we have it as 6.4 into 10 power 10 joule. Helium gas goes through a cycle ABCDA consisting of 2 isochoric and 2 isobaric lines as shown in figure. Efficiency of this cycle is nearly: efficiency of the cyclic process, eta equal to work done by the gas by heat input to the gas. Work done by the gas is area under the graph, that is W equal to 2P0 minus P0 into 2V0 minus V0. That comes out to be P0 V0. Heat input to the gas from A to B, that is isochoric process, Q1 equal to NCV dt, that is times 3 by 2 R dt, that is 3 by 2 times 2P0 minus P0 of V0, which comes out to be 3 by 2 P0 V0. Heat input to the gas from B to C, that is isobaric process, Q2 equal to NCP dt, that is N times 5 by 2 R dt. 5 by 2, 2P0 times 2V0 minus V0, which comes out to be 5 times P0 V0. So, efficiency equal to work done by heat input, that is W by Q1 plus Q2, which comes out to be 15.4%. In YDSC, one of the slits is wider than the other so that the amplitude of light from one slit is double that of the other slit. If Im be the maximum intensity, the resultant intensity I, when they interfere at phase difference phi, is given by: resultant amplitude A square equal to A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi, that is A square equal to A0 square plus 4A0 square plus 2 times A0 2A0 cos phi. Upon simplification, we have A0 square of 5 plus 4 cos phi. For maximum amplitude, cos phi is 1. So A max square equal to A0 square plus 4A0 square plus 2A0 2A0, that is 9A0 square. So I by I max equal to A by A max whole square, that is A0 square of 5 plus 4 cos phi by 9 A0 square. Ultimately, it is Im by 9 1 plus 8 cos square phi by 2. A liquid in a beaker has temperature theta at time t and theta naught is temperature of the surroundings. Then according to Newton's law of cooling, the correct graph between log theta minus theta naught and time is. Newton's law of cooling, d theta by dt is proportional to negative of theta minus theta naught. That is d theta by dt is equal to minus k times theta minus theta naught, where k is a proportionality constant. From there we have d theta by theta minus theta naught equal to minus k dt. Integrating on both sides, we have log theta minus theta naught equal to minus kt plus c. So the graph is a straight line with a negative slope and positive y-intercept, which comes out to be first graph. A particle of mass m is at rest at the origin at t equal to 0. It is subjected to a force Ft equal to F naught e power minus Bt in x direction. Its speed Vt is depicted by which of the following graphs? Force acting on the particle F equal to F naught e power minus Bt. Acceleration of the particle A equal to F by m, that is F naught by m e power minus Bt. Acceleration can be written as dv by dt, so we have dv equal to F naught by m e power minus Bt dt. Integrating on both sides with the proper limits, we have v equal to F naught by mb 1 minus e power minus Bt. By substituting initial conditions, at t equal to 0 we have v equal to 0, at t equal to infinity we have v equal to F naught by mb. So the correct graph is C. Two electric bulbs marked 25 watt 220 volt and 100 watt 220 volt are connected in series to a 440 volt supply. Which of the bulbs will fuse? Resistance of the first bulb R1 equal to V square by P, that is 1936 ohm. Maximum safe current through the first bulb I1 equal to P by V, that is 5 by 44 ampere. Resistance of the second bulb R2 equal to V square by P, that is 484 ohm. Maximum safe current through the second bulb I2 equal to P by V, that is 5 by 11 ampere. Current flowing through the circuit I equal to V by R1 plus R2, which comes out to be 22 by 121 ampere. The current in the circuit is greater than the safe current through the first bulb, so the 25 watt bulb will fuse out. Resistance of a given wire is obtained by measuring the current flowing in it and the voltage difference applied across it. If the percentage errors in the measurement of current and voltage difference are 3% each, then the error in the value of resistance of the wire is. Resistance of a conductor R equal to V by I. Applying log on both sides and differentiating, we get log R equal to log V minus log I, that is delta R by R equal to delta V by V plus delta I by I. So we have percentage error in resistance to be 6%. A boy can throw a stone up to a maximum height of 10 meter. The maximum horizontal distance that the boy can throw the same stone up to will be. Maximum vertical height h equal to u square by 2g, that is given to be 10 meter. So the maximum horizontal range of the projectile R max equal to u square by g, which is 20 meter, as it is 2 times maximum height. This question has statement 1 and statement 2. Of the 4 choices given after the statements, choose one that best describes the 2 statements. Statement 1. Davison-Germer experiment established the wave nature of electrons. Statement 2. If electrons have wave nature, they can interfere and show diffraction. Coming to statement 1, the Davison-Germer experiment establishing wave nature of electron is correct. Coming to statement 2, if the electron has wave nature, they can interfere and show diffraction is also correct. In fact, the electron diffraction technique is the principle behind electron microscope. So the correct option is C. A thin liquid film formed between a U-shaped wire and a light slider supports a weight of 1.5 into 10 power minus 2 Newton. The length of the slider is 30 cm and its weight is negligible. The surface tension of the liquid film is. Gravitational force of the object W equal to 1.5 into 10 power minus 2 Newton. Force due to surface tension on the slider is T into 2L, that is 0.6 T Newton. For equilibrium, gravitational force should be equal to force due to surface tension. So we get surface tension equal to 2.5 into 10 power minus 2 Newton per meter. A charge capital Q is uniformly distributed over the surface of a non-conducting disk of radius capital R. The disk rotates about an axis perpendicular to its plane and passing through its center with an angular velocity omega. As a result of this rotation, a magnetic field of induction B is obtained at the center of the disk. If we keep both the amount of charge placed on the disk and its angular velocity to be constant and vary the radius of the disk, the variation of magnetic induction at the center of the disk will be represented by the figure. Consider an elemental ring of radius r, thickness dr. Charge on this elemental ring dq equal to sigma dA, that is q by pi r square into 2 pi r dr, which comes out to be 2q by r square into small r dr. Current associated with the rotation of this dq, I equal to dq by dt, which comes out to be q omega by pi r square into r dr. Magnetic field at the center of the disk due to elemental charge, dB equal to mu naught I by 2r, so mu naught by 2 pi q omega by r square into dr. So total magnetic field B equal to integral dB, which gives us mu naught q omega by 2 pi r, from which we can see magnetic field is inversely proportional to radius, so the graph is rectangular hyperbola. Truth table for system of 4 NAND gates as shown in figure is: output of the first NAND gate is A bar plus B bar. Output of second NAND gate is A bar plus AB. Output of third gate is B bar plus AB. So the output of fourth gate is AB bar plus A bar B, which is known as exclusive OR gate. So the correct option is first table. Assume that a neutron breaks into a proton and an electron. The energy released during this process is: mass of neutron is 1.6725 into 10 power minus 27 kg. Mass of proton is 1.6725 into 10 power minus 27 kg. Mass of electron is 9 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Dissociation of neutron is represented by the equation N01 gives rise to H11 plus E minus 1 0. Mass defect in this process delta M equal to mass of proton plus mass of electron minus mass of neutron, which comes out to be 9 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Energy released in the process according to Einstein's mass energy relation E equal to delta M into C square, that comes out to be 0.506 million electron volt. A Carnot engine of efficiency 40% takes in heat from a source maintained at a temperature of 500 Kelvin. It is desired to have an engine of efficiency 60%. Then the intake temperature for the same exhaust temperature must be: efficiency of Carnot engine eta equal to 1 minus T2 by T1 into 100, that is 40 equal to 1 minus T2 by 500 into 100, which gives us T2 as 300 Kelvin. Required efficiency of Carnot engine eta equal to 1 minus T2 by T1 into 100. So 60 equal to 1 minus 300 by T1, which gives us T1 equal to 750 Kelvin. If two springs S1 and S2 of force constant K1 and K2 respectively are stretched by the same force, it is found that more work is done on spring S1 than on S2. Statement 1. If stretched by same amount, work done on S1 is more than that on S2. Statement 2. K1 is less than K2. Work done on the spring W equal to half kx square, which also can be written as a half into F into x. W1 by W2 equal to F1 x1 by F2 x2, that is x1 by x2. Since W1 is greater than W2, x1 is greater than x2. Applied force is the same, so F1 equal to F2, that is K1 x1 equal to K2 x2, which gives us K1 is less than K2, that is statement 2 is correct. If x1 equal to x2, W1 is half K1 x1 square and W2 is half K2 x2 square, that is W1 by W2 equal to K1 by K2. Since K1 is less than K2, W1 is less than W2, implying statement 1 is true. Two cars of mass m1 and m2 are moving in circles of radii r1 and r2 respectively. Their speeds are such that they make complete circles in time t. The ratio of their centripetal accelerations is. Time period of revolution is same for both cars, t1 equal to t2, so 2 pi r1 by v1 equal to 2 pi r2 by v2, which gives us v1 by v2 equal to r1 by r2. Centripetal acceleration AC equal to v square by r, so the ratio of centripetal accelerations a1 by a2 equal to v1 by v2 whole square into r2 by r1, which gives us the ratio to be r1 is to r2. A cylindrical tube open at both ends has a fundamental frequency f in air. The tube is dipped vertically in water so that half of it is in water. The fundamental frequency of the air column is now. Longitudinal stationary waves are formed in the air column of an organ pipe. Open pipe, that is open at both ends, has an antinode at open end and a node at the middle. Closed organ pipe, which is closed at one end, in the fundamental mode has a node at closed end and antinode at the open end. Fundamental frequency of the open pipe f equal to v by 2l. Fundamental frequency of the closed pipe f dash equal to v by 4lc. That is v by 4 into l by 2, which comes out to be f again. An object 2.4 meter in front of a lens forms a sharp image on a film 12 cm behind the lens. A glass plate 1 cm thick of refractive index 1.5 is interposed between the lens and the film with its plane faces parallel to the film. At what distance from the lens should the object be shifted to be in sharp focus on the film again? Focal length of the lens from lens maker's formula 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to 1 by f, which gives us 80 by 7 cm. Normal shift due to the glass slab is t times 1 minus 1 by mu, which comes out to be 1 by centimeter. So the effective distance of the screen from the lens is v equal to 12 minus 1 by 3, that is 35 by 3 centimeter. So the object distance 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to 1 by f, that is 3 by 35 plus 1 by u equal to 7 by 80, which gives us u equal to 5.6 meter. A diatomic molecule is made up of two masses m1 and m2 which are separated by a distance r. If we calculate its rotational kinetic energy by applying Bohr's rule of angular momentum quantization, its energy will be given by angular momentum of the molecule as per Bohr's rule of angular momentum quantization, L equal to nh by 2 pi. Moment of inertia about center of mass, I equal to m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into r square. Angular momentum of the molecule L equal to I omega, that is m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 r square omega. From the above equations, nh by 2 pi equal to m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 r square omega, which gives us omega to be nh by 2 pi 1 by m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into r square. So the rotational kinetic energy half I omega square, that is m1 plus m2 n square h square by 2 times m1 square m2 square r square. A spectrometer gives the following reading when used to measure the angle of prism. Main scale reading 58.5 degree, vernier scale reading 0.9 divisions. Given that one division of main scale corresponds to 0.5 degree, total divisions on vernier scale is 30 and match with 29 divisions of the main scale. The angle of prism from the above data is least count of the vernier calipers 1 MSD by number of vernier scale divisions, that is 0.5 by 30, which is 1 by 60 degree. Angle of prism is reading of the vernier calipers, that is MSR plus VSR into LC. So 58.5 plus 9 into 1 by 60, which comes out to be 58.65 degree. An insulating solid sphere of radius r has uniform positive charge density rho. As a result of this uniform charge distribution, there is a finite value of electric potential at the center of the sphere, at the surface of the sphere, and also at a point outside the sphere. The electric potential at infinity is 0. Statement 1. When a charge q is taken from center to the surface of the sphere, its potential energy changes by q rho by 3 epsilon naught. Statement 2. The electric field at a distance r which is less than capital R from the center of the sphere is rho r by 3 epsilon naught. Volume charge density rho equal to q by 4 by 3 pi r cube, which gives us q equal to rho into 4/3 pi r cube. Potential at the surface of the sphere 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Potential at the center of the sphere 3 by 2 times potential at the surface, that is 3 by 2 into 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Coming to statement 1, potential difference between the center and the surface, delta V equal to V center minus V surface, that is 3 by 2 V surface minus V surface, which comes out to be half of V surface. By putting the values, we get the potential difference to be rho r square by 6 epsilon naught. So the change in potential energy of the point charge delta U equal to Q times delta V, which is rho r square by 6 epsilon naught into Q. So statement 1 is false. Coming to statement 2, electric field intensity inside a charged sphere is E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r cube into small r. Upon rearranging the values in terms of charge density, we get the formula as rho r by 3 epsilon naught. So the statement 2 is correct. Proton, deuteron and alpha particle of same kinetic energy are moving in circular trajectories in a constant magnetic field. The radii of proton, deuteron and alpha particle are respectively Rp, Rd and R alpha. Which of the following relations is correct? Radius of the circular path followed by a charged particle R equal to mv by bq, that is root of 2mk by bq. All the particles have same kinetic energy and moving in the same field. So we have R is proportional to root m by q. So R proton is root of mass of proton by charge on proton, which is 1. Similarly for other particles we have R deuteron equal to root 2 and R alpha particle is 1. So the correct option is B.